Good morning, guys. It's Saturday morning, a little frosty out today. I'm going to build a bucksaw today from all natural materials, except for the blade, obviously. But while I was out here looking for a suitable tree, look at that. It's a nice deer rub there. Must have been a decent sized buck in here, scraping the velvet off his rack. Can you guys see that? Anyway. I've been looking at all these saplings out here. I'm at my house, out in the woods behind the house. I've got this ash tree here that the base of the tree is in pretty rough shape. Never make a decent tree. But we got a nice straight trunk there, so I'm going to cut this down. And you know what, I'm probably going to take it into my shop to work on it, only because of all the road noise and it's just easier to film it. But my plan is to get out this winter and do some winter camping, or winter, I don't know if you want to call it camping. I'm going to try to get everything in one pack. And I would like a bucksaw with me, but it's going to take up a lot of room, so I think I will take just the blade, and I want to practice making one out in the field and see what I come up with. So bear with me. I'm going to cut this little sapling down here and get some usable wood out of it and take it up to my shop, and I'll get back with you up there. See ya. Alright, we're down in the shop. Like I said, I'm going to do it in the shop just because it's easier to film. I've got the iPhone up on a tripod. I'm not too sure how it's going to come out, but yeah, we'll do the best we can. Now, of course, I've got lots of power tools and all kinds of great tools down here I can use, but I want to use what I'm going to have with me out in the field. I got to practice with the tools that will be at hand at that time. So we've got a folding saw, nothing special, just a little cheapy Gerber folding saw. I've had this for, I don't know, 10 years probably. The blade's getting a bit worn. I really should replace the blade. I have a couple knives. This is my Blackjack Model 7. Great knife. This will be with me. I've got my Blackjack Model 5. That will be with me. Cup of warm coffee. You know I'm going to have that with me. And here's the pole, the sapling that I cut. She's about 7 feet long, nice and straight. This is ash. I have no ash on my property out at camp. I will probably use beech or a hard maple, but should work the same. This is a practice run, you know what I mean? So first thing I want to do is get some lengths cut. Now, you know, I'm kind of making this up as I go. I drew a little diagram right here, upside down. You know, that, I'm trying to get you in shot there. That represents the blade. We've got the two side arms and the center brace. The top is some cordage to pull it all tight. It's all going to be made from natural materials. So first I want to cut these two side pieces. And, you know, I'm going to kind of guesstimate the length, to be honest with you. Of course we want them the same. So first I'll cut those. And then I'll cut the center brace. That I want to be the same length as the blade itself. Maybe a little longer. I'm going to get the two center pieces cut first, and I'm going to eyeball it, I'll be honest with you. I hope I'm getting all that in frame for you. So, first thing I'm going to do, and you know what, like I said, I don't want to use tools that I'm not going to have with me, except for the bench. Obviously I won't have my bench with me, but I will have a tree stump, a deadfall. I mean, there'll be something I can use as a bench, you know what I mean? Won't be as practical as this, but I'll have to deal with it. What else? It is cold in here. It's 31 degrees Fahrenheit, so that's just below freezing. Might as well get used to the cold. I'm not going to turn the heat on in here. Actually, all I have is a wood stove. I'm not firing that up for a couple hours worth of work. What else? That's about it. I have a Sharpie. I probably won't have a Sharpie out there. I'm not going to bother. You know, I probably will. I'll be taking a notepad with me, so I will have a writing utensil with me. That's about it. I'm going to cut a couple of these up. Don't know where to start. Thinking, I'm guesstimating here. I want to be able to cut through a log that's 6, 7, 8 inches in diameter. I think this is as good a spot as I need to start. I'll try to get as many, or as few knots in it as possible. I don't know if you can see that. Ooh, almost knocked you guys over. See that? That's a scrap piece. Get as much as I can out of that. I'm really trying to just guesstimate here. Give it a little more. I got a couple knots. Didn't want them, but what are you going to do? As you can see, this blade is getting a little dull. It's time to replace that before I get out there. Alright, I'm not going to bore you with cutting all the pieces to length. I get them cut to length and start prepping those, I'll get back with you. Alright, here's my basic shape. Blade down at the bottom. I will cut 2 slots in the end for the blade to slide up into. And here, at the cross piece here, let me get this. What I plan on doing is cutting a V-shaped notch out of that. And then on the corresponding piece, we will notch it, but in a V shape. So that should just slide right into here like that. I thought about going square like that. Be easy to cut these 2 pieces, but then how do I get that out? Point of my knife, a chisel would be perfect, but I won't have a chisel out there with me. So I'm going to go with a little V-shaped notch to keep my geometry fairly close. I think the only downside to a V-shaped notch is this could act as a wedge and split this. I don't think that's going to happen. I'm not going to pull it that tight. We'll see. If it starts to split, put some cordage around it. I mean, what are you going to do? You know, I'd rather have the nice square, like a mortise and tenon style slot in there, but I will have trouble cutting that out with the tools at hand. So I'm going to get working on this. And, you know what, let me... Can I film that without it jumping all over the place? I can try. Really wishing I had a better blade right about now. You know what, I'm going to hang this off the edge of the bench. You're not going to be able to see it from that angle. I'll bring you back when I get that little notch cut in there. Oh, another thing I want to mention. You know, I have to have a notch on the other side here too. They're going to have to be on the same plane with each other. If one is twisted clockwise or counterclockwise a little, the whole saw will be crooked. The blade will be crooked. And she won't cut very well that way. So I'm going to work on that. I wish I could record it for you. I'm going to see if I can set something up so you can see one of them. I'll get the first one cut. Alright, I'll be back. Alright, I don't know how much of this you'll be able to see. Got the notch started. Learned a couple things already. Get a sharper blade. That saw blade is very dull and it's making this work much harder. Also, I made sure I put a glove on. I kept slipping and catching my other hand with the saw. Not an ideal situation. You see what I'm doing here? Just kind of wedging it in there. Very time consuming. I'm sure with a sharper blade this won't be so much trouble, but looking straight still. Almost there. Almost there. Hope you're not bouncing around too much. Tempted to switch hands here. We're almost there. There we go. First one. I'm out of breath already. I don't know how well you can see it. Lighting's never the greatest in here. Actually, the lights are too bright. Alright, I'm going to cut. What am I going to cut next? I'm going to cut the corresponding piece right here next. I'll get it started again and I'll bring you back. Alright, I've cut a couple slots in the arm with my saw, nothing special. I tried to bring the slots in tight at this end, and as you can see we've got plenty of space out there just to give me that angle. Now I'm going to cut this out with a knife. I'm just going to do a little bit at a time so I can make sure my angle is right. You know what, I'm not going to bore you with this. Oh, you can't even see it. I just realized you're out of frame there. I'll come back when I've got it a little closer. I've got a little progress here. You can see the notch, wedge, whatever you want to call it. I've cut into that. However, I'm still far from having the right angle. Can you see that? So I've got to keep working on it. But you know, just cut a little bit more, see if it fits. Cut a little more, see if it fits. It's gonna be a little time consuming. I've also started using my small whittling knife that I made. I've showed this in other videos. Actually, I have excuse me, I have two of them. I have no problem taking these out in the field with me. They're very lightweight, very sharp, great for delicate tasks like this. I'll save my bigger blades for other things. Alright, I'll be back. Alright guys, my knife got dull. I had to put an edge on it. Have I ever done a sharpening video? I don't think I have. I typically don't strap my knives with leather. I use my buffer. I will not have a buffer out in the field. So all I did was undid my belt and I strapped it on the belt. And she's hair popping sharp now. Can you see that? Yes, I might have a bald spot on my hand now. Anyway, good and sharp again. Oh yeah, she's sharp now. Alright, I'll be back. Alright guys, I'm pretty much there. Let me show you what I've got so far. Here's the one of the sides there. Try Try to get you in a better position to see it. It's laying flat on the bench right now. It slides in there. Same thing on the other side. I cut the slots in the bottom. I just put a little piece of, this is actually pine. It's just a little piece of pine I whittled to fit through the hole on the blade. I may regret that and use a piece of hardwood, but I had that sitting around. So now all I've got to do is get some cordage across the top, tighten it up, like a tourniquet. The sun has changed positions. I can't put my phone back in the tree. You know what? Let me switch tripod locations, and I will put it together for you. I'll be back in a sec. Alright, I'm back. Tripod's not working, but I did get it put together. There's our cordage at the top, a little stick in there to tighten it up. One other thing I wanted to mention was I put a little notch right here just to hold that piece, keep the blade from popping out. That little piece of pine sits in the notch. Same thing on the other side. It's not as sturdy as I'd like it. I mean, it's got a little play in it, and it's certainly heavier than I wanted. But the weight actually might help push it through the wood a little, but I'm not sure about that. So we are going to head off into the woods, and we're going to give it a test run. This is an old blade, too, as usual. This blade's dull, too. The heck, time to get some more. I checked online earlier, they're only $5. So I'll pick up a new blade, and we'll test it out. I may decide to change things around a little, but now would be the time to decide that. I don't want to get all the way up at camp, get all the way out in the middle of the woods and all set up and realize I won't have a bucksaw with me. So we'll give this a shot. Alright guys, let me back up a little and pan out a little. Maybe you can see it better. Pretty crude, huh? But you know what? It is what it is. If this will cut up some firewood for me, I'll be happy with it. I'll use it to make a shelter, whatever. Actually, I won't be taking this one to camp. I'll be building another one out there. Time consuming, though. I spent a solid, probably 2 hours on this. But 2 hours spent building something like this, how many hours will that save me in the field? You know what I mean? If I try to do everything with a small folding saw, there's only so much you can do with them. I'm going to have to produce a lot of firewood. It's going to be cold out there. And, might help build the shelter too. So, we'll see. I may scrap the whole idea and buy one or make one. I saw a couple of them online. Russ built a nice one. Contact Right 07. Andy built a beautiful one too. Stony Brook Bushcraft. That would slip in my pack. I may end up doing that too, but I want to practice this. This is a skill I think I need to learn while I'm out in the field. Alright, let's head out to the woods and cut up some wood. Alright guys, I got you on a tripod. Got a piece of wood here, somewhat secured. Let me throw my glove on. First time I've tried to cut with it, so let's see what happens. Well, I already see it's not tight enough. I can already see this blade's too dull. Whoops. Nope, not happy with that. Not happy at all. The blade does appear to be straight. not go through the wood like I would like. I'm gonna go get a fresh blade. I'll be back. Alright, I'm back. I could not get a new blade. Go figure. I went to the store. They said they had them on the internet. I get to the store and they said, "Oh no, those are seasonal. You know, we're done with those this time of year." So, whatever that means. I guess you only need to saw wood in the summertime. But I couldn't get a new blade, so I sharpened this blade. We're gonna go out and give it a test run. And on a brighter note, though, look what I found while I was at the store. My wife's not happy though, because she was gonna buy me one of these for Christmas. But yeah, she'll have to buy me something else now. So either way I win. New folding saw. It's Corona, I believe it is. Corona, yes. It's got a nice nice design to the teeth. Cuts real nice. I just gave it a shot. Trying to do this the wrong hand here. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Alright, we're going to head back out in the woods. Like I said, I sharpened this. I just took a little tiny file. I got a couple different files here, you know what I mean? Just these little, I don't know what you call them. One's a half round, one's a flat. Typically, you know, you can sharpen these blades again, but they're never like they are brand new. But we'll see. We'll give it a shot. I'll meet you in the woods. Alright guys, let's give it another shot. Tighten it up just a little more. This is not good paracord that I have on here, so she tends to stretch a little. Can you see? Looks like you can see. Much better. I still need a new blade though. I mean, that cut pretty good, but this is ash. Fairly hardwood. This was a very hardwood. Cut much better since I sharpened it, but I think with a new blade we'll be in business. So there you have it. Bushcraft Bucksaw. All I gotta do is pack a blade and I'm good. Tell me what you think, guys. Talk to you later.